everyone. We are here for another episode of Organic Conversations, sponsored by Prairie Organic Spirits. And I'm so excited. I don't want to play favorites, but Spencer is one of my favorite people in the Twin Cities. And he is the founder, creative, visionary, doer, aller. I know you have help, but of Sota Clothing. So Spencer, tell us, what's Sota Clothing? If someone's never heard of it for some reason.
So Sota Clothing is basically just a Minnesota lifestyle brand. We sell hoodies, t-shirts, pint glasses, all kind of accessories. And we kind of just gear towards kind of active Minnesota people.
Yeah. Sota Clothing has been around for when did it start?
So it started in 2011 at the University of Minnesota Duluth. I went to school for graphic design, so we had to do a branding project. So I branded Sota and just kind of kept it going from there.
Did you ever think when you're doing this class project at UMD that one day you'd be running a huge successful business?
No, I mean, I just knew I wanted to do something creative.
Yeah.
And and kind of have a source to kind of put my creativity out.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that one day it would turn into this.
And for those of you watching that maybe didn't know this, we're sitting in the most gorgeous building, and they have literally, we have the beautiful retail part, there's this event space. There's so much going on here. I almost cried. I think I maybe did cry when I walked in, because I do remember being in the attic in Uptown, and it's just so cool, being here and seeing this, and you're just so kind and humble. Because I always think that for people to be successful that they have to be kind of jerks. So it's nice when really nice people are successful.
Can actually do it and pull it off.
Exactly. Tell us, so talk about a moment that maybe has been really hard, where you're I don't know if I can do this, or this is way harder than I thought it was gonna be. Have you had any moments like that?
Yeah, especially a lot in the last year and a half. For me, I grew up, liking photography, liking design.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought I would run a business that has now 8 to 10 employees and kind of managing that. So now for a creative trying to be able to actually be a business owner and actually manage people is probably, to me, the hardest thing ever.
Yeah.
So trying to learn how to do that and try to be creative at the same time is a pretty big challenge.
That would be hard. Do you ever think, what would you be doing if you weren't doing this, or does that not even cross your mind?
Most likely if I wasn't doing this, I'd just be doing some other small business.
Yeah.
I think I've always wanted to run and do my own business. It's just what was it going to be?
Yeah.
So, I originally went to school for photography, and then after UMD, I worked as a photographer for a while. So I'd probably still be doing that as well.
Yeah. I know we were just talking about this, but the one hat, I see it everywhere. I'm and I'm always cool, that's Spencer, that's Spencer's company. Sometimes even in Target, I'll see multiple people wearing them, or the grocery store or wherever.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a moment where you're somewhere crazy, not in Minnesota, and you see someone wearing Sota?
Yeah, actually today my aunt was in New York, and she sent me an email, and she stopped a guy that was wearing a Sota shirt.
Oh my God.
And she's like, that's my nephew's company. So, we were over in the British Islands. We were on a sailboat.
No.
And this guy that was from the British Islands was like, oh, I have that shirt. And all my buddies were like, what? No, you don't. He's like, yeah, no, I got it in Bemidji when I was there once. And we're like, are you messing with us? He's like, no, the paddles and the MN. We're like, oh, you really have that shirt?
That's amazing.
So, it's just kind of crazy where it's gone and who's ended up buying the product.
What's been a moment, so we talked about maybe stuff that's hard, what's been a moment where you felt not I made it, but you're this is going well, or this is maybe more than I ever expected it to be. So sitting here.
Well, I think really it was when I was in my attic. I remember packing orders on the 4th floor of this attic and then carrying down tubs of boxes to fill up my station wagon and drive it to the post office. And I took a photo of all the boxes completely filled the back of my station wagon.
Yeah.
And I just started laughing that many people bought this product, and then I'm mailing out to them.
Yeah.
So, really 4 years ago, and now here we are sitting in our first storefront, sitting in our first building that we were able to purchase and kind of remodel and make into what we wanted. And so this has been a pretty crazy time.
Yeah. What is like the mission, I guess, of Sota Clothing, or like what's kind of something that you really get behind? Is it, you know, being outdoors? Is it like supporting Minnesota culture? Like what's kind of...
Yeah. I mean, when I originally started Sota, the reason was because there was no Minnesota shirts that I personally wanted to wear. So I didn't think there was any shirts that were reflecting the state well. So that was my mission in the beginning, was, you know, to create a shirt that I thought was a cool Minnesota shirt. And kind of continue that too, and kind of the more that people wear this, the more that people wear it out in different states, is kind of like a branding purpose back for Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know, because it might create conversation for people about, oh, what's your shirt stand for?
Yeah, interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that was
honestly.
never my intention that these shirts would help like market Minnesota in some way. But also just to kind of show that there's cool stuff happening in Minnesota, and there's cool brands that are coming out of Minnesota. And so then we try to work with other brands similar to us, and just kind of keep doing cool stuff.
Has there been anything, I'm gonna put you on the spot, I mean you're already on the spot, but like have you had any weird ideas and it's just been like a failure, or you're like, oh, let's try this, you're like, why did we do that? And you like learn from it?
Yeah. There's a few design stuff that I personally like that I put out there and usually does the worst. I had one shirt that literally was 2 boxes of different colors, and I thought I was gonna crush it. And I think I sold like 4 of them. I think in the basement down here, we probably have like 50 of them stored away.
Nice. So it's kind of like, but you have a design sense, but sometimes it's just like...
It just might not be popular to other people.
Yeah.
I'm really pumped about the 4 people that bought it though.
Do you know them personally?
I know one of them personally. And she's a photographer, but like, I mean, there's other stuff that we think will do well, and then we're like, crap, that did not sell. And we ordered over 1,000 of them.
Yeah. You know how people get like, they call them the Sunday scaries, where it's like before you have to like get up and you're thinking about your week and going to your job, and it's like, do you get that? Because like I'm assuming you like what you do, right?
No, I mean, honestly, I get it at times when I know something big's happening. Like if the state fair is about to happen, I get nervous right before the state fair opens.
Yeah.
But the moment it opens, I get over it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, not really. I guess during tax season, I get nervous.
Ugh, I hate taxes.
Taxes are probably the worst thing about a creative owning their own business too. Because we should not be allowed to do that.
No.
Our accountant just emailed us today, and she's like, I think you're at the point where you need a bookkeeper.
Yeah.
And we're like, what do you mean? Are we doing a good job?
Oh my God.
So we might now have to go look for a bookkeeper
Yeah.
to kind of run our books daily.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So talk about the state fair, because isn't it, I don't know how it works. Isn't it kind of hard to get in the state fair?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you get in the state fair?
It was pretty lucky.
That's
I mean, we
huge.
basically we have this mini caravan that we bought, this camper.
So
and
cute.
completely gutted it. And that was my plan to be able to get us into the fair. I knew if someone saw it from the state fair, they wouldn't be able to say no.
Yeah.
So we got in literally a month before the fair 3 years ago. The lady called us. She's like, I saw your email. Like, we think we have a spot for you. So she made up a spot for us that didn't even exist.
Whoa.
And she's like, no one's ever been in here. Your caravan will fit in there perfectly. And so that was 3 years ago. And now we're looking on Craigslist every day looking for a bigger camper because it just is not big enough anymore.
Did you have enough inventory for the state fair?
No, but luckily our printers print fast.
Wow.
And it's 12 days, so we could reorder and bag them to print quickly. So
yeah.
That was a big learning curve. I mean, every year is a big learning curve
Yeah.
for us. But we just kind of take it and figure it out and keep going.
So do you have any like next things that you're working on, or like big plans that you can share with us? Or are they kind of like secret?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of stuff that we're working on now is like we just released this flannel.
I like that.
So we're working with a lot more cut and sew.
Very, very nice quality. It's
very
not any
thick,
of that BS
a
fabric.
good Minnesota flannel. So we're trying to get more into that. We're still screen printing is our bread and butter, and that's what we're good at.
Yeah.
But we want to test the waters and see if we can grow the company besides just selling to Minnesotans, but also being like, all right, here's a good solid Minnesota flannel. If Minnesotans are wearing this, most likely anyone else should be.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's keeping us alive during the wintertime.
Yeah, and they're nice gifts too, because it's like, I don't know, thinking about Christmas gifts or holiday gifts and like some of the stuff you get, it's nice to get like a nice quality thing.
Yeah.
Do you do any like partnerships, or do you do any like like cool things with corporate companies that want to partner, or is it
Yeah.
kind of on your own?
We kind of worked with, I mean, we've done a few things. We worked with Twin Cities Live, this state fair, and we did a hat for them.
Yeah.
We've been kind of helping people, other companies with their branding and their shirts and their hats and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Just because we kind of have that experience.
Yeah.
And that might be something that we get into more. Right now, we're kind of pretty happy where we're at right now.
I was gonna ask if you do any consulting, just because it's like you've worked like literally from college to building this huge, amazing company. Like if people reach out and ask you to like, can I pick your brain or whatever?
I mean, in the beginning, there was a lot of people that were like, I just want to know what you did, you know?
Yeah. They want the magic, but you're like.
And the magic was really, it just kept going.
Yeah.
My biggest belief is if you believe in what you're doing and you know it's a cool thing, eventually it has to work out, you know?
I hope so.
So, I mean, 4 years before, like when it was just me for the first 4 years, I was like, I'm just going to keep going. And I just believe in it. And as long as you do something every day to kind of help build your brand, then it's got to add up to something, right?
Yeah. And you have such a nice family. Are they just like so proud? Like, do they even...
I mean, we have half of them that work for at Sota now. My
so
dad,
it's a family business?
Yeah, my dad was just in here today, and our Honda commercial happened to air during like the Packers and the Vikings.
That's amazing.
And he literally like freaked out.
Spencer was in a Honda commercial, and it was on during the Minnesota Vikings versus Green Bay Packers. Like, you can't ask for anything better than that, right?
And I had no idea it was even going to air during then, too.
Were you watching it?
Yeah, I was sitting there.
Were you shocked?
I was sitting there with my buddy Roy, and he's like, what the heck? I was like...
That's amazing.
So that partnership was definitely it was a fun experience, a very stressful... I was very stressed before that one.
Did you like being in a commercial?
I mean,
Do you have a future in acting?
No, I mean, luckily... it was all voiceover work, and I didn't have to say anything in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd probably still be filming it right
now. So I know you kind of shared like a little bit about, you know, people that's starting something, just like being resilient. Like, is there any other advice you would give to anyone that wants to start a business, is thinking about starting a business, like has an idea, like any advice?
I think the big thing, especially if you're trying to come up with an idea, trying to find an idea that kind of fits within your lifestyle. You know, like I'm able to do all this because luckily I was a photographer, graphic designer. Where I was able to do all the branding, all the shooting, all the marketing behind it. Versus where people are like, oh, I might want to run like a porta potty business. It's like, I don't know. Like I think people try.
Do you know someone that wants to start
Well,
that?
I've heard from other people. My cousin wanted to do a laundromat.
Okay.
I was like, do you know anything about laundromats? But like my point being is like if you find something that is like a true thing to you, it shouldn't be a hard thing to push.
That's a good point.
But if you're trying to push something that you really don't know much about, but you really just want to run your own business, then it might be a completely different story.
Yeah, that's really good advice. So if people want to buy Sota Clothing, where do they go? What's the website?
Well, you can go to sotaclothing.com, or you can come to our new retail store. We're right in St. Louis Park, off 107. And then we also sell wholesale to about 70 different shops in Minnesota. Yeah. So wholesale is really our big part of our help. I didn't know
it was that. I knew you did wholesale. I didn't know it was 70.
Yeah, we do a lot of small mom and pop boutiques and stuff like that.
Oops.
Well, there goes the
There's a blooper. It's perfect. We love bloopers.
But the mom and pop shops are definitely what helped us get to this point too. So.
And okay.
Give him another.
Oh, thank you.
Another lemon, precise.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm assuming some days when you're running this business and building this beautiful space and doing a billion things, you might want like a cocktail or a beer.
Yeah.
And even though Prairie is, you know, sponsoring this story, and we're grateful for that, what's your cocktail of choice?
My cocktail choice is definitely old fashioned.
Old fashioned?
I mean, I'm a sucker for a good, solid old fashioned.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What about yourself?
I am literally a vodka soda
there you go.
cocktail drinker, and I like Prairie actually a lot. They're not even just paying me to say that. It's true. I was buying it before this started.
Probably my first vodka soda, and I'm actually enjoying this.